At the end of the big wave of 1960s soul jazz organists, this musician really came into his own, achieving a lot of popularity and airplay with several recordings for the Prestige label, despite having a great deal of respect for Jimmy Smith and Jimmy McGriff. This singer also had one of the best walking bass pedal approaches around, in addition to a swinging, technically proficient, light textured keyboard sound. When the vocalist was on, he torched with the best of them despite not being a particularly inventive player in his profession. The centerpiece of today's video is all about Charles Earland. Now before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to be sure you won't miss out on any more content. Now, without further ado, let's cue that intro. Born May 24th, 1941 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, when Earland was younger, he actually began his musical adventures covertly on his father's alto sax. By the time Earland was in high school, he played baritone in a band that also featured fellow Philadelphians Pat Martino on guitar, Lou Tabakin on tenor, and Frankie Avalon on trumpet. He spent 3 years touring as a tenor musician with Jimmy McGriff following his time as a member of the Temple University Band. Falling head over heels in love with McGriff's organ playing and began studying the Hammond B3 during the intermissions, Charles became known as the Mighty Burner due to his style of play. After McGriff let him go, Earland made the organ his primary instrument and joined forces with Martino and drummer Bobby Durham to form a trio. After recording his first songs for Choice Records in 1966, he spent 2 years and 2 albums with Blue Donaldson before signing with Prestige as a solo artist. Black Talk, Earland's debut album for Prestige Records, went on to become a best-selling classic in the soul jazz genre. In 1969, Jazz Radio played a surprisingly successful cover of the Spiral Staircase's pop rock smash song, More Today Than Yesterday. From that album, before signing deals with Mercury and Columbia, he made 8 more albums for Prestige, one of which included Grover Washington Jr., a then unknown young man from Philadelphia. By now, the organ trio genre had faded into obscurity, so Earland, together with his wife, singer-songwriter Cheryl Kendrick, adopted the pop disco sound by acquiring some synthesizers. After Kendrick passed in 1985 of sickle cell anemia, Earland went away from music for a period, but in the late 80s he returned to spotlight by playing Hammond B3 after playing at the Chickrick House on Chicago's South Side. He recorded 2 great albums for MOTOWN in the classic soul jazz style. Then in the 1990s he rejoined the Muse label. Unfortunately, while he was getting his career back on track on December 11th, 1999, Earland passed of heart failure the morning after playing a gig in Kansas City. He was only 58 years old. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What is your favorite song from Charles Earland?